Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to One Piece, episodes 821 to 824. We're here with some more episodes of One Piece. Things kicked off pretty well last time. We got some big information regarding Pudding, and her clear evil intentions and acting ability. We got some more with Pedro versus Baron Tamago, and apparently he's a chicken now. Big Mom thoroughly defeated Brook, but that was expected. Sanji and Reiju are planning things. So a lot's going down. A lot's going down. But we're gonna find out where this all leads, at least to some point, hopefully today. I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know what to expect. But yeah, we have 4 more episodes, and there's a lot set up so far. And a lot of big stuff that's been set up and been, kind of built up. So they definitely, I feel, are going to at least bring something to a head here. At least I hope so. With One Piece, it's hard to tell because it's so long as it is, and it's drawn out because, well, they kind of have to just to make sure they don't surpass the manga. So yeah. But either way, I'm very excited to see what we got in store, especially since we are still, getting closer to the end, because, again, it's in the 80s, I believe, where this arc ends. I think it's in the 880s, something like that, before we move on to the next arc. But yeah, either way, we're just gonna get this started and hope for the best. Yeah, and see where we go from there. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so that was a good set of episodes. Not as much actually happened in comparison in this one. This one definitely was a little more, only focused on a couple of little plot points. So Luffy is continuing to search the castle. He ends up getting stopped by Reiju. She tells him Sanji is not there, and so she tells him that he already knows about Pudding as well, and so he decides he's going to go back and meet Sanji where he said he was, at the rendezvous point. That's pretty much Luffy's entire thing here. He faces the 3 brothers, I don't remember their names, but he faces them as well throughout this. 2 of the brothers in the castle, and the other one on the outskirts of the rendezvous point. And he manages to defeat all of them. There's not really much to talk about with this, though. It's mostly Luffy's drive to get where he needs to be. Meanwhile, Sanji is just reeling from everything that he had discussed with Reiju, and he's just trying to come to terms with it all. He wants to go back and be with the crew again and with Luffy, but he, at the same time, he doesn't think he's worthy, and he's still afraid of putting the Baratier and his friends in danger. So he's struggling with it, sitting there, when Bobbin comes along. Bobbin takes from the lunch he had prepared, which he realized he ended up making all of his crew, all of his friends' favorite foods. He gets angry, attacks Bobbin, and decides to head out. to meet with Luffy at the rendezvous point, knowing that Luffy's probably starving. um, Bobbin chases. Sanji runs through the town and manages to get to the rendezvous point with not really any issue. The only thing that comes up is the dog, really, but that doesn't prove to be any problem. Bobbin is chasing after him, but ends up getting shot by someone. We don't see who, though. But they have the same gun it looked like that Pudding had, but I doubt it would be Pudding unless maybe she just wants to stop Bobbin from ruining their plans. I don't know. But the big thing about this episode was definitely the Brook rescue team. This is where these four episodes really shined, in my opinion. Not that the other stuff was bad. The stuff with Sanji and Luffy were both great, but the Brook rescue team stuff was where these four episodes specifically shined, and honestly, where a lot of the focus was on. Like that their stuff had been a thing for a time, but was always kind of more as the secondary kind of thing going on. Now in these four episodes, it took more of the primary focus. So yeah, so Jinbei and Nami are running through the castle. When they end up being caught up to by some guards. They attack the guards. Nami chooses to fight as well, but right as Chopper comes through the mirror and she shocks him. So they go into the mirror with them, and they're searching for everyone else because Carrot had drawn the really interesting, but actually really well drawn portrait of the ones they're searching for. So next they search for Brook and find that he's in Big Mom's room. So they do this mission where each of them go one by one to try and replace Brook with a dummy that Jinbei made. And they are just trying to get Brook back. Big Mom is a violent sleeper, though. She attacks things in her sleep, and she can wake up pretty easily, but not too easily, at the slightest sound. But she's still in this groggy state where she just attacks it like, oh, it's a fly, and she's like violently attacking it. Same with Prometheus and Zeus. They kind of are in this groggy state, and they just attack violently, and it's like, holy shit. Hence why I used the thumbnail that I did. But it's like, they manage to go one after the other, and Nami's the last one to go in, and she almost succeeds. But Brook causes it to fail at the last split second because he sees the dummy and screams, and she screams, and although they're not actually caught, they are attacked, but Jinbei manages to get them out of there in time. And we find out that Brook actually successfully copied the road poneglyph. I did not think he did. I thought he was interrupted before he could. But no, he actually successfully copied it. Okay, cool. So that mission was a success, even though it was dangerous. Oh, and I forgot to mention, they also saved Pedro by bringing him into the mirror, and that his entire suicide bomber thing going on was just a ruse to get him out of there because he had seen them in the mirror, which was really cool. Like, I like that. But yeah, so everyone got through the mirror, and now they know where Luffy and Sanji are going to be meeting, and that's where they know they need to go next. So that's their next goal, because that's who they're trying to meet up with now. Yeah, their part was just, it was funny. It was really intense and shocking, and it just took the focus for these episodes, and it really was a good part. Not too much actually happened. Like, yeah, they're just rescuing their friends and everything, but the stuff with rescuing Brook especially was like really notably intense, and I really loved it. We got to see a little bit of Pudding talking to Big Mom while she was holding Brook and everything, and Brook basically finding out that Pudding is a bad guy through that. We got to see a little bit of the Vince Smokes drinking and shit and talking shit about Sanji and being happy about how his uselessness has been useful to them. Um, and we like even saw Big Mom's children talking and Opera hiding the fact that he failed at his job just because he's scared of what Big Mom will do to him if she finds out. Instead, he makes up a lie that he was a little too overzealous and burned them to death. So yeah, things are going swimmingly there. But yeah, the majority of it was definitely taken up by the Brook retrieval team. That's just what I'm calling them right now, to refer to them all. Um, and of course, Sanji and Luffy's parts were definitely a big point as well. Um, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this all comes together because it definitely feels like it's that point now. Sanji and Luffy are reunited. Sanji, I think, is ready to join back up with them. Um, Even if he's still afraid of it, he's willing. I think he's at that point now. The rest of the retrieval team are still trying to find Sanji and Nami or Sanji and Luffy, and they know where they are now. So I assume they're going to go there and meet them there. And yeah, things are just going to progress from there, I'm sure. Um, I did see the very beginning of the preview for the next episode before I was able to cut it off after I stopped the recording. So I do know one thing about what's coming next episode, and I'll just say that I've been waiting for him because I did know about him beforehand, but I've been waiting for him to arrive. I'll just leave it at that. I don't know the context behind it. I don't know the context behind his character, but I've been waiting for him, and it looks like, based on what I saw very briefly at the end there, that's what's going to be happening next episode. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know like exactly where this is going to go. Because if Sanji is going to rejoin with Luffy, how are they going to work this out? I assume they're going to form some kind of plan rather than like just like abandon everything. I doubt they're going to do something like that. So they're going to have to form some kind of plan, and then you have to like figure how are they also going to rescue Reiju because you know Sanji does not want Reiju killed in all of this. So there's a lot of questions I feel. And hopefully we're still going to get answers because things are starting to come together. But there's still a lot more of this arc left. And so we're going to have to not only just continue to bring everything together, we're going to have to move into the next stage. We're going to have the big fights. But yeah, this is definitely what we're at now. We're kind of transitioning into the next phase of this arc. With this being a long arc, not as long as Dressrosa, mind you, but it's still a long arc, it's definitely one of those that is kind of split into its different sections, its different parts. And yeah, it definitely feels like we're moving into the next part now that Sanji is reunited with Luffy and everything. We're going to start moving into the next phase of things, and it's gonna definitely be different. But so far, this arc has been fantastic, and I'm really enjoying it. It's done so much for so many characters. It's brought in so many great ideas and concepts, and I just love it. So I'm really excited to see where this goes next. Um, but as always, no spoilers in the comments. Even if you think it's something small, I do not want to know where this is going at all. I don't want to know any plot details or character details about what's coming up. Um, don't even mention a name that hasn't been brought up so far. I want to remain as spoiler free as possible, and I want to keep the comments that way. So you could tell me though, what did you think of these 4 episodes? What did you think of what happened? What do you think of uh, the entire stuff with the Brook retrieval team and how that played out? The Sanji kind of coming to terms with things, Luffy having to fight despite his weakened state, and his hunger. Tell me your thoughts on all of that and more in the comments below, and thank you so much for continuing to tune in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.